Good afternoon, everybody, or good evening, wherever you're at. Um, I'm just glad that you're here with us. And this is Reverend Sam, co pastor at Amazing Love Sanctuary in Arvada, Colorado, and also broadcasting from Positive Being Here and Now. So, last week, I talked most of the week about love. And I'm going to continue to talk about love because it's a powerful moment. I talked about belief in divine love. Before you can do anything with love and understand love, you've got to believe in it. You got to believe in God's love. It just doesn't, otherwise, you're just spinning your wheels. So hopefully you found yourself on a journey where you are searching and looking and discovering the beauty of God's love and finding some faith in that and confidence in divine love. The next step 2, is preaching God's love. And I'm not talking about standing behind a pulpit and preaching. You might do that. I'm talking about how we verbalize it and communicate God's love to the world around us. It's not always with words. Sometimes the most effective communication is our own words, is in the way we communicate with those around us. And how do you communicate? One of the topics that came up from today, I've read several people have added on there about empathy. How do we empathize with people that are hurting, people that are broken, people that are bruised, people that are struggling? How do we empathize? Some people can't. It's just not in their nature to empathize. It's not in their character. And so how do you build that up? How do you grow in that and learn how to communicate God's love, communicate divine love in a world around you? So as usual, I want to start with 1 Corinthians 13, and I'm going to continue to read it in this really cool version called the Passion Translation. And I just feel like every time I read it, it's something new jumps out at me. And so I really, really like it. And I keep saying that I'm going to post it on our Facebook page. And I just keep forgetting. I get so charged talking about love that I forget to do the simple task of copy and paste. So anyway, but let me read this and you listen to this, and I'll read it through slowly. This is from the Passion Translation. Love never stops loving. It extends beyond the gift of prophecy, which eventually fades away. That wasn't what I was going to read. So let me get back up here. There we go. Starting at verse 4 of 1 Corinthians 13. Love is large and incredibly patient. Love is gentle and consistently kind to all. It refuses to be jealous when blessings come to someone else. Love does not brag about one's achievements nor inflate its own importance. Love does not traffic in shame and disrespect, nor selfishly seek its own honor. Love is not easily irritated or quick to take offense. Love joyfully celebrates honesty and finds no delight in what is wrong. Love is a safe place of shelter, for it never stops believing the best for others. Love takes failure as defeat, for it never gives up. Wow. Until then, there are 3 things that remain: faith, hope, and love. Yet love surpasses them all. So above all else, let love be the beautiful prize for which you run. So what are we in this race for, this race in life? To accumulate more things, to get more things, no, or we're in this because it's about love. It's not about having things. It's not about having a Mercedes Benz in your driveway, or in your church a parking lot full of $100,000 cars. And there are some congregations where that's exactly what they think is a sign of God's blessings in a person's life, and it's so wrong. It's so wrong. I have a brother in the Lord who used to really kind of struggle in his own life, and but it was really kind of interesting because he would write me a letter every day. Every day I got a letter from him telling me about everything that happened in his life. This was every single day. So throughout the week, I would get 7 letters. And and I used to tell him, you don't have to do that. But he wanted to be accountable, and he wanted to share what was going on in his life. So he would send me 7 letters. And each letter, he would put a small amount of money in. Now, to most churches, to a lot of churches, it wasn't anything. It was nothing significant. He was not a big giver. He was not influential, but he was a part of the church. He was a brother. He was a wonderful guy. So you had to learn to love him. And I've always said this: you can tell what a church is really like by the way they treat the least in their congregation, the one who gives the least, the one who contributes the least, the one who's the least talented, the one who's maybe not the best looking. That's how you can tell what a church is really made of. It doesn't mean anything if they treat the big givers like they're important. That doesn't mean anything. That's an easy thing to do. And some pastors spend their whole life chasing around the big givers. I think it's more important to learn how to love the unlovable, to learn how to love the ones that take the most from you. So I wanted to share some thoughts about love, preaching love. And when you grasp this, it's going to change the way you communicate love to yourself, to the world around you, the people around you, to your church, to your faith tradition, whatever it may be. The rhetoric of love is exorbitant, exuberant, exhausting, hyperbolic, hyperventilating, and hyperactive. That's what love is. That's the preaching of love. It challenges every aspect of our ability to communicate. Somebody else, and I'll keep reading this. It trips off the tongue like thrills until the subject is unhinged, unglued, and unsettled, challenging the senses, the sensibilities, the syntax. Love exclaims, declaims, and claims that nothing compares, dares, shares, hopes, helps, or hurts like love. That really describes love in a way that is amazing. I've always preached love. I always wanted to preach more about God's love than anything else. And this is tells me it just takes everything. It pulls everything out of you when you start talking about love. It challenges, it exposes the where we lack in our language and our abilities to communicate love. When we talk about love, we even say crazy things. How about it's better to have loved and lost? As if love is the answer. Love is the goal. It's the ultimate. Love isn't a question, it's the meaning. It's the meaning of life. It's the meaning of why we're here. It's the meaning and defines our relationship with each other. This really just excites me. And not all love is the same. What I think is amazing is that love is is sane, it's redemptive, it's insane, it's confusing. You can become obsessed with the power of love because it's magnificent, it's magical. And not all loves are even greater. Some of them are higher. Some love is purer. Some love is deeper. And the more you communicate it, the more you believe in it, the more you preach it, it starts to change your life. One priest said, "Love moderately, long love doth so." Somebody said love was like gunpowder when it's likening some love to gunpowder that when kissed is consumed and all consuming. Get afraid of that big bang. There's nothing more powerful than love. Love lingers. Love lingers on your lips. It lingers in your heart. It lingers on your mind. And love is just real. It's not fake. It's self-giving. It's not self-indulgent. Love is self-sacrificial. It's not selfish. It's not self-centered. It's selfless. It longs for alliance, and its permanence is a pleasure. One author wrote this: "Love is not a God, but God is love, and we are made like the divine, not merely to like the divine, but to love God wholeheartedly, single-mindedly, without hesitation, without regret, without doubt." Only God is eternal. And divine love lasts forever. And so it is with life, love, truth, and beauty. We long to be, we desire and crave to be in the presence of love forever. So what does love mean to you? For love, there's not enough words to describe love. When you preach love, you run out of words, and then you have to just plain old live it. And we become what we admire the most and who we are meant to be. Lovers of God, lovers of ourselves, lovers of our enemies, lovers of our neighbors. That's love. Divine love. When you start preaching love, when you start trying to communicate love, when you start trying to working and living it out to express love, it'll change your life. It'll make you say things like, "I'm your ally. I'm here for you. No matter who you are, no matter what you are, no matter what you believe, no matter who you love, I am here for you." That's what love says. So my challenge for us is not only to believe, but to begin to communicate love, divine love, through our words, through our heart, through our soul, through our ministries. It's like receiving a love letter. Some people save love letters for a lifetime, and nobody does that very much anymore. It's easy to run to the grocery store and pick up a birthday card that says it all for you. But there was a time, a more refined time, that people expressed love in writing, in their heart. So that's kind of my thoughts today. Is I want to challenge us to learn how to preach love, to communicate love. I'm not talking about standing behind a pulpit. I'm not talking about standing in front of a crowd of people. I'm talking about how to preach love to that one person, somebody you disagree with, somebody you agree with, somebody that challenges you just by their very presence, somebody who demands and takes from you your time and your energy and rarely ever gives anything back, but you still learn how to love them. I just don't feel there's an end to this conversation about love. This is about LOVE-ology. It's this theology of love, of divine love, of agape love, of sacrificial love. And we forget because we live in a world that is so caught up in pursuing our own goals and our own wants and our own desires. We forget how to love unconditionally. We forget how to accept one another as brothers and sisters. We forget how to accept one another unless they're just like me or believe like me or vote like me. Someday, we'll get past all this. Someday, all this politics will be behind us. It doesn't matter who you vote for, how you vote. Someday it will all come to an end. And I think we're going to have to rise up out of the rubble and go, what was this all about? Was it really about being better than somebody else? Was it really about hating somebody else? And we're going to rise up above that and have to learn how to love each other. We're going to have to learn how to forgive each other. We're going to have to learn how to reach out to each other. Whether we're black, brown, gay, straight, Christian, non-Christian, we're going to wake up out of this dream one day, out of this nightmare, and go, wow, all that hate wasn't worth it. All that anger wasn't worth it. All the politics didn't change a thing. Let's learn how to love each other. Let's learn how to preach divine love to one another. Not politics, not trying to convince somebody of a belief system, or not trying to convince somebody of your politics versus their politics, just to plain love them, just the way they are. Just the way they are. That's what I want. Thanks, David. I just clicked on this and saw that you had some comments, and so I'm glad you're here. So I don't know what it's going to take to change us. One of these days it will all come to an end, and we're going to wake up and go, wow, I just had to love that person. It's a love story that's being written. And there are those of us on Positive Being Here and Now. There are those of us like at Third Way Church or BeGraceful.com or Jill Tarnoff on In the Morning, or Elia, that are just here trying to tell you, just got to love each other. You just got to love each other. You got to love each other and forgive each other and care about each other. I have dear friends, great friends, who, man, we are not on the same side of the political persuasion. We're on opposite sides. And we joke and we jab and we poke at each other. But I love them and they love me, and I know it. That's my word of encouragement today. Discover love. Preach love. Preach love. Preach divine love. Man, there's not a better message. There's not a message that will change lives more than divine love. God's love. God is love. I think that's great. Anyway, I just want you to be blessed today and encourage you to reach out. If you're struggling with something, you can reach out to any of us on here on Positive Being, myself or David or Bob, Elia. Just get on Positive Being here and now and share that and get refreshed and built up and strengthened, so you can do that or get onto any one of our own pages like Third Way Church or Be Graceful or Amazing Love Sanctuary. We're always available. Every one of us want to be here for you. And we're all just preachers of love. That's all I can say. We're communicators of love. So no matter what you're going through, no matter how you feel, love is love is love is love is love. Well, let me close it up with my forever love commitment. Brothers and sisters, we want you to know that we are committed to you. You will never knowingly suffer at our hands. We will never say or do anything knowingly to hurt you. We will always, in every circumstance, seek to help you and support you. If you're down and we can lift you up, we will do that. Anything we have that you need, we will share it with you. And if need be, we will give it to you. No matter what we find out about you, no matter what happens in the future, good or bad, our commitment to you will never change. And there's nothing you can do about it. You don't even have to respond. We love you. And that's what that means. I hope you have a great evening. I'm sure other people will be on encouraging you. So I think that's a great thing. I'm going to put here for a minute. Let's see here. We'll do it this way. You can email us. I'll put our email address up there at amazinglovesanctuary@gmail.com. If you ever want to write us or email us, we're always there for you. We want to make sure that you know what we're doing and that we can help you. However we can help you, we want to do that. So we love you, folks. We love all of you. And I hope this message and these messages on love, LOVE-ology, that's my word. I'm going to keep it because it's my word. I made it up and I like it. Is a blessing to you and encouraging you and strengthening you. So you folks, all of you, my brothers and sisters, my wonderful friends, be blessed and be encouraged today. And that's it. God bless you. Have a great day. Have a great evening. Bye.